Illumix has officially left FNaF AR in the dust, and
FNaF AR is officially dead.
Illumix has completely abandoned FNaF AR.
We have not had any official updates or statements from Illumix talking about what they're doing with the game, what's next, when's the next character, when's the next update even. We've had nothing.
So guys, the company Illumix who made FNaF AR is suddenly gone. They literally entirely left the community and abandoned everything.
That's cool, but let your fans know that you're not working on the game no more.
For a game that has such a strong start and honestly a fantastic idea behind it, the developers have just kind of left it in the dust. And unfortunately, it seems like today marks the end of FNaF AR's adventure.
The game up until this point had an alright sized community, but people have been somewhat annoyed with the franchise for a little bit now, because the last update the game had at this point was 7 months ago, just earlier this year.
If you do go to the Illumix website, the illumix.net, it has no recognition of FNaF AR whatsoever, not even any games that they've done in the past.
It's crazy to me that you'd make whole new social media and website, despite FNaF AR being, quote, the most successful AR game to date. You are clearly proud of it on your old website. Why start a new one? Unless you're trying to leave it behind.
However, the company Illumix had seemingly disappeared off the internet, and no matter how many people tried to receive a statement from them or get some sort of update, they were left with no response. That is until recently, however. Because today, the Twitter user Mysco would tweet, "It is over. Illumix of FNaF AR fame has officially created new socials and a brand new website, and neither include FNaF AR as something they ever worked on. FNaF AR has been abandoned."
So, it is official. FNaF AR. It's dead. That's right. Oh, if you're wondering where I'm at, I'm in my hotel room on my Indiana Dunes trip. Go check out the vlog channel for that. Anyway, also I'm talking a bit quietly because my mom's in the shower and I'm sure she doesn't want to hear me. Also have the TV turned down so I don't get copyrighted in the background. But anyway, FNaF AR is dead. And Illumix, they've said nothing about it. No news, no nothing, just legit created a new Twitter account and a new website and didn't even tell us anything. And the thing is, this new Twitter account and website has been active since like June of this year, and they never told us anything about it. Oh, by the way, thank you doesn'ton for noticing me. And Illumix left the FNaF community in the dust for rings. For AR rings. That's right. I never thought I would have to say this, but FNaF AR is officially dead. And Illumix just wants to forget the most popular AR game. Like, they had a website before, and the funny part is, they were planning on doing the rings even then. Yet they made a new website just to forget about FNaF AR, not tell the community anything about it. And there haven't been many people in the community who have made a video about it. Sheeprampage and, what's his name, JonnyBlox made some good points. I will show some of the points they have made in their videos. right now.
Illumix has officially left FNaF AR in the dust. The game has slowly slowed down over time. At the very start of the game, we were getting a whole bunch of brand new characters, mainly the toy animatronics, and then when we got into quarantine with the coronavirus, Illumix actually handled the situation pretty good, where they released a whole bunch of skins for the animatronics in the game, and that lasted for about 2 years. It was a long time. Over the course of that time, we would still get, you know, characters every now and then, the Jacko characters, Ballora, Golden Freddy, and eventually at the end of last year, we got the long-awaited Funtime Freddy and also a brand new DLC for the game. And it's just so weird to make a completely brand new Twitter account, even though you are doing the same exact stuff with augmented reality. Happy birthday, Beyonce. If you are doing the same stuff as you were before, why do you need a brand new Twitter account? Why do you need a brand new website? Which again, does not feature FNaF AR anywhere. As you can see, I'm scrolling through. No mention of FNAF. There's just none. It's crazy to me that you'd make whole new social media and website. Despite FNaF AR being, quote, the most successful AR game to date, you are clearly proud of it on your old website. Why start a new one? Unless you're trying to leave it behind. Just to completely leave it behind. With no statement, no like goodbye, you know, we'll see you on the next adventure. Like, Jesus, man. Why? Like, it just feels like you're backstabbing the fans. Because let's be honest here, FNaF AR was Illumix's first project. It was their first game, it was what got them onto the, you know, into the field. Make it a recognizable name. FNaF AR is what boosted Illumix into stardom in the first place. And so to just leave it and its fans behind, again, just with no statement. I don't care if you want to move on to other things. I get that. I understand that. But just to leave your old fans in the dust, to leave your biggest project, your groundbreaking debut in the dust, like, that's crazy to me. And I'm sorry, that's just straight up bogus. Like, that's insane that they just dropped their fans and dropped FNaF AR. Like, it sucks. Because I don't care what you say. Like, FNaF AR obviously was amazing. Actually, this tweet sums it up best. It could not be an overstatement how much of a waste this is. They had everything. They had a player base. They had a decent game going. They had people paying for their MTX, and literally all they had to do was pump out good models and updates once in a while. I completely agree with that. FNaF AR had something going for them. They absolutely could have made it a groundbreaking game. So to see them just... to see Illumix abandon it and move on to other things without even acknowledging the fans that got them to stardom in the first place is extremely disheartening. Still, like, it's just, I really cannot believe it. That they would go through, create brand new accounts, a brand new website, not mention the thing that got them their fame in the first place, get them on the board in the first place, and then just move on. Like, I really can't express how disheartening that is to me, and how just insanely ridiculous that is to FNaF AR fans and the FNaF community as a whole. FNaF AR was not meant to be something groundbreaking. Honestly, I think we all know that. It's just a spin-off game. But still, just to leave it in the dirt and move on to other things without even giving a thank you to your fans.
There's literally no mention of FNaF AR ever happening at all. So basically, people are thinking that this is essentially them entirely abandoning the project. And in my opinion, upon scrolling through the new website and the new Twitter, that's honestly what it seems like is happening with the company. They boast about all their different accomplishments and connections to different news sources on their website, but they never include this huge game that they worked on. And especially when considering that they haven't even touched the game in months, that basically tells me that they're pretty much done with the game forever now. But it seems like there were actually a lot of people eager to see what would happen with this game in the future, and it seems like it's just all been randomly thrown away. By the way, in case you were wondering, apparently this happened all the way back in June and we just never noticed. I'm still really annoyed that the company would just randomly decide to ghost everybody and never make any sort of official statement regarding where the game actually went. Like, it would have been fine if the developers just told us they weren't working on the game anymore and just decided to pursue other things. But the fact that they went as far as to make an entirely brand new website and other Twitter accounts just to try and hide from everybody makes it seem really sketch, if I'm being honest, because I just don't understand why they would throw all their success that they had away over that. But it's just annoying to see this in the FNAF community. Like, these are official developers we are talking about in this situation that were specifically hired to make this game, and they just decided to completely abandon it. Even if you completely despise FNAF AR, this is an official development company leaving its fans in the dust, brushing the fans aside without a thank you or here's to more adventures. Something cheesy, I don't care, just something for us. And to see the official developers just running away from FNAF randomly really scares me for the future of it, and it may even scare people like Scott, who are literally in the process of trying to find new game developers to take over his spot with creating new games. And seeing one of the companies just run away like this is a huge red flag. I've tried looking for anybody who could be defending this move just to see if there was some good out of this that happened, but it just seems like some random scummy company came in, made some money, and dipped to do other things, leaving their fans in the dust. I wonder what Scott will have to say about this, or if he even does say anything about this, or if FNAF AR will even stay on the App Store.
And yeah, Illumix, we feel betrayed. But you know what I'm gonna do? I have an Android. You might be thinking, why is that important? Well, the reason it is important is because there's a little fan game mod of it called Forsaken AR. It's made by a bunch of modders in the community, like Forsaken AR and Orton Realm, who I just talked about. And this brings me to my next point. So, like, what's gonna happen with FNAF AR? Well, I'm probably gonna switch to Forsaken AR until we get some kind of news, like maybe another company takes over, which I hope happens. And I want to explain the company that I hope takes over. Or not company, but the team I hope takes over. So I was just discussing FNAF AR, Forsaken AR with Forsaken Gaming and everyone. And I might ask BrandonMonster if I can use a clip from his channel, so you'll probably see a clip from his channel of him playing Forsaken AR, and I kind of hope that team takes over FNAF AR. That was like something that my friend FreddyFazbear247 said in his FNAF AR server. By the way, shout out to BrandonMonster, just because he plays a lot of Forsaken AR and he might be helping me get into the game, hopefully. So yeah, Forsaken AR, I'm gonna start playing that. And I really hope that team is the one that takes on Special Delivery, because I think they could revive the game. Like, they could remove like the developer skins or something, and just like add all the stuff they've made to FNAF AR. But obviously Scott would have to give them the rights, because, you know, even though Scott left the community, he still does own FNAF, so like he owns the whole shebang. So if this were to happen, he would have to give Orton Long, Forsaken Gaming, all these people permission to the FNAF IP and to make FNAF AR. But if this were to happen, which I'd give it about maybe a 15% chance of happening, because it's not likely, seeing as they are modders. And you know, it's not very likely for Scott to take someone from the community, have them make an official game. I mean, the Fanverse was one exception, except the Fanverse games, I believe, are in their own universes. They're not actually canon. The point is, I'd like to see that, even though it's not very likely. I still want to see it. But anyway, that's all. This video is pretty short, but I'm probably going to be playing Forsaken AR pretty soon. So if you're excited for that, like and subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.